Hello everyone and welcome to drinknectar.com. I'm your host Josh Wade and this is the internet's place to explore the five senses of coffee and wine. Favorite time of the year right now, baseball season has just begun. Opening day was just this last week, and as many of you know, I've been on a quest to field an under $10 team of all-stars. Some people would call them underperformers. Maybe not all-stars, we could reserve that for the higher quality wines, but still nonetheless trying to find a team of 9 starting players and some alternates that can come in that you can trust. Hopefully you trust these reviews. If you don't, go somewhere else and find a place that you can trust for recommendations. But anyway, the Mariners have not started off the season so well, and so hopefully they can pull it out as the season continues. It's a good thing they play all 162 games. We're reviewing 3 wines today. I already have a Cabernet Sauvignon on the team from Columbia Crest, I believe. And interestingly enough, I was at the local store and saw this wine, Distant Bay, made in Patterson, Washington. Not much in Patterson, Washington. For those of you that know the state, there's Columbia Crest is in Patterson. So I did a little bit of research with the help of, believe it or not, Twitter. I was talking about it, and the next day I got an email from a gentleman who did some research for me. Distant Bay is an off-brand owned by Chateau Ste. Michelle out of Monterey, California, and they must use it periodically to put some extra juice they have and sell it at a discount so they don't tarnish their name. So this particular Cabernet Sauvignon is lighter than a lot of cabs you would see. It's actually very translucent, so it's not that dark inky color. Kind of has a tawny port tone to it, very watery on the edges. Let's give it a sniff. Pretty tight on the nose, little hot pepper coming through on the back. You know, the alcohol starting to sneak back in there. A little bit of cherry fruit, but not a lot of magic happening there. But let's give it a sip. Okay, so for $6, $7, not frustrated at the wine, but definitely not anywhere near in comparison to the $9 or $10 I spent on a Columbia Crest Grand Estates cab. So this is definitely not a winner. Set back a single A ball, needs to work on its form, needs to work on its function, and not going to hit it out of the park anytime soon. So, this particular wine is also from Washington. It's Duck Pond Cellars. This is their 2007 Syrah. It's mostly Syrah, around 97% Syrah. This comes out of some vineyards in the Wahluke Slope. Desert Wind Vineyards, also home to Desert Wind Winery. About 6,000 cases of this wine made, so pretty readily available across the state. Duck Pond has some big production on some of their other varietals, but this one is, typical plum-colored Syrah. Not as bright as I would expect, and still a little thin. So both of these wines are coming across a little thin on their color. Let's give it a sniff. It's interestingly enough, it's coming across very Merlot-like, subdued on the nose, some hints of oak and some vanilla in there. Definitely not your big in-the-face Syrah that a lot of Washington Syrahs can be known for. So I'm expecting this to be a little underwhelming on the sip, but let's give it a try. Yeah, I wanted to like this wine. It's $12, but you can probably pick it up on sale for $10, so it qualifies for the under $10 team. This Syrah is just not doing it for me. Doesn't really provide a lot of interest and character. There's a little bit of fruit in there on the front, but both the mid-palate and on the back end is pretty empty. If you're looking for an easy drinker, sipping wine, certainly could do this, but gonna have to pass on my recommendation on this Duck Pond Syrah. Send it back to AA. It's not a single A ball Syrah, but definitely send it back to AA. Okay, so far I'm a little bit frustrated with this particular round of tryouts for these guys. Obviously, none of these guys are bringing their A game. They're not wanting to step it up and play in the majors with the big boys. So hopefully we can find some splash and pizzazz from this last one, which is a Cycles Gladiator Pinot Noir. If you're in Alabama, you must turn away because this label is banned in Alabama because of the naked lady on the front. Sorry, where was I? Naked lady on the front. I got a little distracted there. Anyhow, let's give this one a shot here. Very light in color, as you would expect from a Pinot Noir. I don't know if you can come across there on the camera, but definitely light, translucent all the way through, kind of on that tannish, leathery brown color in there a little bit. Let's give it a sniff. Okay, I'm liking the way this one is smelling. Has a little bit of earth in there, some cherries. You do have some cola. There's a little bit of vanilla in there. So it has a lot happening on the nose for a $10 wine. I think it's $10.95. So barely borderline. You may pick it up on sale for a little less than that. But let's give it a sip. I'm really curious to see how this one's going to perform. All right. Not blown away. It's going to make the team. It's going to make the team only because I've tried out a few other Pinot Noirs that couldn't make the team. Just couldn't perform. This guy here is going to have to play pretty hard because he may be ousted by another Pinot Noir that I have in the lineup ready to try out in the next few weeks. It's all right. Certainly a little hollow and empty, as all of these are. Provides the fruit. So something a little more can be said for the other two. Provides some fruit. You got some nice cherry action in there. There's a little bit of tartness, like a sweet tart, some candy flavors. Definitely easy drinking. Could be very food friendly with all kinds of foods. So it's rocking it. It's all right. We'll keep it in the lineup. Definitely playing ball with it. I want to ask you guys, if you're baseball fans, who are you pulling for this year? Let's step away from the regional loyalty Ben out there going with Texas, and you got Steve going with Oakland, and we got all my folks over on the East Coast going with Atlanta Braves. Come on now, who's really going to bring it? And the Mariners are not going to win it all. They're probably going to make the playoffs, but they're not going to win it all. Who is going to bring it? In tonight's text, I'm going to put my National League predictions of who's going to bring it for the NL. So remember, life is always meant to be enjoyed with friends. Open up a bottle of wine, bring some friends over, and drink happy.